I'm going to be ranking every single dark matter card right now in NBA 2K23 My Team. We have a tier list here ranking from S that goes all the way down to F tier, and we have every single dark matter currently in the game on this tier list. I think it's a total of 67 dark matters in the game. I'm not going to have every single version of each card, so I'm not going to have LeBron James' all-star card in his playoff. I'm not going to have Jokic's, 4 different versions because he's got the out of position, he's got the hero, and he does have the playoff. I'm not going to have the 3 Ben Simmons or the 2 Ben Simmons dark matter ones. So just gonna have the best card of each player. So like no like 3 LeBrons or 2 LeBrons or 2 Ben Simmons. Just gonna be the best player, and every single dark matter currently in the game is gonna be on this tier list, and I'll be ranking them from S that goes all the way down to the F tier category. So Dwight Howard starting us off here, I would say probably somewhere in that B tier category. He's a really good defensive power forward. I already typed his name, but yeah, 6'11" at the power forward position, 7'4" wingspan, and he's gonna bring great size to that power forward position and also elite level defense. 98 block, 96 steal, 98 perimeter, 98 interior defense. He's got every single Hall of Fame defensive badge in the game, and I actually don't mind his jump shot. I think it's somewhat decent of a release, and I feel like you can green pretty consistently with Dwight Howard, so I'd throw him somewhere in that B tier category. Anthony Davis, even after his Evo, I would say is probably in the D tier category. He's just a little bit undersized for the 4 and doesn't have that great of a jump shot. Like, he's only 6'10" at the power forward position. His defense is going to be good, but his jump shot is probably the biggest flaw I would say about the card, is the fact that his jump shot's only on quick timing, and realistically it's just not a great jump shot. That's the one big thing really holding Anthony Davis back, so I do think he's probably got to be somewhere in that D tier category. Alonzo Mourning, I'm putting in A tier. I think he's one of the better dark matters in the game, and I think he's one of the more underrated cards also in my team. He's 6'10" at the power forward position, but does have that 7'6" wingspan. His stats and his badges are pretty much perfect. He's got such a good jump shot for a power forward card with the John Wall base, the Rudy Gay upper on very quick timing. He's also got elite level dribble saves for a power forward with the D mid size up, the tray escape. So all around, I think Alonzo Mourning got to go somewhere in that A tier category. Ben Simmons, I think, is most likely going to be a top like 10 dark matter card in the game, and I would say probably I'll have my top 10 dark matters in the S tier category, and I think Ben Simmons deserves to be S tier because of the defense and the size he brings at the point guard position. Gilbert Arenas, kind of on the flip side compared to a Ben Simmons for defense and size. He's going to be a little bit undersized at the point guard position, only being 6'4", but Gilbert Arenas has a super good jump shot that's really easy to green, and he's a great 3 hunter in game. So I think Gilbert Arenas probably actually going to be in that C tier category. Bill Russell, I would say it's like B or A tier. I mean, Bill Russell does give you really good defense, so I'll go A tier for now, just because of the defense he still provides for you, being one of the best defenders in the game, 6'10" at the 3, 7'4" wingspan, and perfect defensive stats and badges. Bull obviously got to go in the S tier category, one of the best cards in the game, and one of the best dark matters that I do think he's definitely going to be in the S tier category. 7'2" with a 7'7" wingspan, and is just an absolute demigod in my team, so obviously going to be an S tier. Larry Bird gonna be in the F tier category, just probably the worst dark matter in the game, or one of the worst dark matters, so obviously going in the F tier category. LeBron, I would say probably a C tier. A really good small forward still to this day. Like, he plays good defense, he's a really good rim runner, just an all-around still very solid dark matter card. Really interested to see if LeBron's gonna get an invincible sometime soon, and they maybe change his jump shot, give him a little bit better dribble stakes. He could be one of the new best small forwards in the game. Bob Pettit, I think, is probably going to be at least in the B tier category. I think Bob Pettit's one of the more maybe not so talked about card in the game that's actually super elite, and that's maybe because no one really grinded limited, or not that many people grinded limited in season 6, but he's a really good 6'9" small forward, 7' wingspan. His stats and his badges are pretty much perfect. His jump shot's going to be absolutely money, a lot better of a release than I was expecting. And then he's also got the Kyle Lowry size up, he's got the Steph Curry escape, he's got quick drops off one, solid defensive tendencies. Bob Pettit is just a really good all-around small forward. I think he's probably going to be in that B tier category. Devin Booker, I would say is like C or B tier. I might go B tier just because of the 2 Evos. The fact that he's now going to have 50 Hall of Fame badges, like, that's probably the crazy and best thing about Devin Booker, is he's basically an invincible card with maxed out stats, and also having 50 Hall of Fame badges is absolutely ridiculous. And then he's still going to have that pretty good jump shot and also very good dribble save. So D-Book, I think, is most likely going to be in that B tier category. Nikola Jokic, I'm gonna keep him in A for now, but I do think Nikola Jokic might be in the S tier category. A really good 6'11" point guard, 7'3" wingspan, and does have an elite level jump shot. I just think Ben Simmons personally is slightly better at point guard. Chris Bosh I'll throw in D tier, on the same kind of tier as Anthony Davis. Not horrible dark matters like a Larry Bird, but I think he's really not that great at the power forward position. Dark matter Chet easily going to be in the S tier category. Him and Bull very similar at the small forward position. Some of the best dark matters in the game. They got great size, super overpowered, and just glitchy cards in the game with their animations. KG I think is easy A tier for sure. He might be S tier just because of his size and defense at the shooting guard and small forward position, but I think for now going to be somewhere in the A tier category. He's basically just a better Bill Russell is kind of the way that I do view Kevin Garnett. Cade I would say is C tier. I think he's like that one step below a Devin Booker at point guard. I think him and Gilbert's actually way closer to Bates just because of Gilbert's jump shot and offense and dribble sigs. Cade's 6'8" at point guard, which is cool and all, but his jump shot's really not that great. His sigs are okay, and his jump shot is super baited, so I would say Cade probably going to be somewhere in C tier. Clyde Drexler, I'm gonna go D. He's definitely not a bad dark matter card. He's still a really good rim runner. He gets crazy good dunking animations. I just think there's so many dark matters currently in the game that are better than a card like Clyde. Dave Cowens, I think is going to be in the A tier category. Basically is the same dark matter as Bill Russell. Very good defenders. I just like Dave Cowens' offense a little bit more than Bill's, but very similar at that small forward spot. Dikembe Mutombo, I'm not sure if Dikembe is an A tier. I would say he's definitely B tier for sure because of his size. He's 7'2" with a 7'6" wingspan. He's a great shot blocker, has a good jump shot. But I think for now, he's probably going to be in that B tier category. Might get moved up to A tier later in the video. I think Dirk's probably also going to be in B tier. 7'1" at the power forward position. A really good jump shot. Maybe not the best defender or the most athletic power forward, but got size, a really good jump shot, high three ball, and really good Hall of Fame shooting badges. I think he's like on the same tier as a Dikembe Mutombo and a Dwight Howard at that power forward spot. Dr. J, I think is going to have to be an F tier. I know he's got, good Hall of Fame badges. He is a dark matter card, but compared to all the other dark matters on this list, his jump shot's going to be on normal timing. I think it's just way too slow of a jump shot. Like his base and his upper is good. Like the John Wall base, the Rudy Gay upper is an amazing jump shot, but the fact that it's on normal timing is just so slow of a jump shot. No good leaner, no good size up. His escape is not even that great, and he could use some better badges and stats all around. Still a very runnable card in game. I just don't know about his jump shot only being on normal timing. Dark matter D-Rob, I would say at least in the B tier category. Same kind of tier as a Dirk Nowitzki, as a Dikembe, and a Dwight Howard. Patrick Ewing, I think he's not terrible. I'm kind of debating between high D tier or low C because his jump shot's terrible, but other than that, he's a really good all-around dark matter card. I'll keep him in C tier alongside, actually, George Gerving might go down to D. I don't think his George Gerving card is really anything too special. 6'7" at the shooting guard position. His jump shot really isn't the best. He's got the exact same sigs as Dr. J. Yeah, I really don't think George Gerving is that good. I'm going to throw him in the D tier category. Grant Hill, I think, is also going to be in D tier. Not a bad card. Like, these aren't bad cards in D tier. I just think compared to the top level dark matters in the game, they're going to have to be in that D tier category. Grant Hill still gives you really good defense. He's good at driving to the basket. They just didn't give him any good dribble sigs, which is super unfortunate for the card. So I think he's going to have to be in that D tier category. Giannis, I'm going to throw in C tier. I think he's always on the same tier as a LeBron. They have those hidden really good animations that help him out on defense. Great at slashing to the basket. Their slashing animations and their dunk packages are some of the best in the game, but I think they're going to have to be in the C tier category. Hakeem Olajuwon, I'm going to throw in the same tier as, once again, a Dwight Howard, as a Dikembe, a Dirk, a D-Rob. I think they're all very similar at that power forward position. Tyler Hero, I would say, is probably D tier. I would definitely take Gilbert Arenas and Cade Cunningham over Hero. An okay jump shot, decent dribble sigs, but really not the best defender at that point guard position. Isaiah Thomas gonna have to be an F tier, just 6'1" at point guard, gonna be way too undersized. Jalen Green, I'm gonna give probably C tier too. I would say he's like on that same tier as like Cade Cunningham, Gilbert Arenas, but I would definitely take Devin Booker over him. Really athletic, great at getting to the basket. Jump shot, not the best in the world, and he's also not going to be the best defender. Another undersized point guard in Jimmer Fredette. Really good offensive card. Like, you can definitely still cook with him. Offensively, he's just going to be way too undersized with all the top tier meta point guards in the game. Jimmy Butler, I would say, is probably at least in the B tier category. I don't know if I'd throw Jimmy in A. You know, he's a really good shooting guard though. Like, he gives you good defense, especially after his Evo. He's now going to have a little bit upgraded stats, but he's going to get those 9 extra Hall of Fame shooting badges, which are super good. So I'd say Jimmy Butler is probably going to be somewhere in B tier. Joel Embiid, I would go high C. I do think he's a really good power forward in game. Like, he's still got great stats and badges. His jump shot isn't my favorite in the world, but he's got the he's maybe a little bit lower than a David Robinson, a Dikembe Mutombo, a Dwight Hakeem, but he's actually not a bad power forward card. Like, if you're in C tier, you're still a top tier dark matter card in the game, in my opinion. Dr. J, I'm gonna throw in B tier. I think he's very similar to a card like Devin Booker at the point guard position, has a good jump shot, great dribble sigs, all around great stats and badges, and gonna be a really good offensive point guard. Kawhi and Kevin Durant, I think I'm gonna have to go D tier. I mean, maybe I go C. I guess I could go C tier, honestly. Kobe Bryant, I think, is also going to be in the D tier category. I'm going to go KD and Kawhi in C tier. Like, Kawhi's got great defense. He's still one of the best on-ball defenders in the game. And Kevin Durant does have a decent jump shot. He's 6'10" at small forward with a 7'4" wingspan, so does have great size. I'm going to say they're both going to be in C tier for now. And then Kristaps and Luka, both going to be in the A tier category. I don't think there's really any debate. I wouldn't say they're S tier. Like, I don't think Luka's better than a Jokic or a Ben Simmons, in my opinion. And I think Kristaps is going to be a little bit outmatched compared to like the Manute Bulls and the Yao Mings of the world, but still going to be elite level dark matters. Luka, one of the best offensive cards in the game, and Kristaps, one of the best bigs in my team. Manu Ginobili, I always put him on the same tier as J.R. Smith. I think they're pretty much the same point guard. Manute Bol, like I said, easily going to be in the S tier category. The best card in the game, the best dark matter, the best center, the best power forward, whatever you want to call it. He's just the best at whatever he does. He's going to be in the S tier category. LaMelo Ball, I mean, his jump shot's good, but I really don't think he's much better than a Gilbert Arenas. I'm not sure if he's even better than a card like Cade, so I won't say D tier. I don't think he's that bad, but I do think like he's solid. Like, he's still a solid point guard. He's got a good jump shot, decent size. He just moves really slow, you know, for your point guard. Yao Ming gonna be another obvious choice. Has to go in the S tier category. One of the most glitchy cards in my team right now. A 7'6" center, 7'9" wingspan, and he actually does have a great jump shot. So Yao Ming for sure gonna be in the S tier category. The two Jordans, I would say this one is probably going to be in, I would say maybe C tier, but like, is he on the same tier as a Gilbert Arenas, a Cade? I'm not sure if he is. Like, I would say Cade and Gilbert over this MJ because his jump shot's so slow, but I'll put him in C tier. And then I do think the hero MJ is definitely going to be in the A tier category alongside a Luka Doncic, you know, a Nikola Jokic. I think they're all very similar at the point guard position. Moses Malone, I'm gonna have to go D tier. I think he's on the same tier as an Anthony Davis and a Chris Bosh. Same thing with Greg Oden, and actually really good defensive center. Like, I think Greg Oden's still a very runnable center in the game, and he can also play power forward. He just doesn't have the greatest jump shot in the world. Oscar Robertson, same thing. I just don't like his jump shot. I would definitely take Cade, you know, Gilbert Arenas, Jalen Green, LaMelo Ball. I would take all of those point guards over Oscar just because I feel like his jump shot really isn't the greatest. Penny Hardaway, I mean, either really low B tier or really high C tier. I think he's actually just a better Cade. That's the way that I view him. I think he's got a better jump shot than Cade, and he also does move a lot faster in game. So I'm gonna say Penny Hardaway somewhere in C tier. Paul George, I think he's also going to be in C tier. He's a really underrated card in the game. He's got great size at that shooting guard position, being 6'9" with a great player model. Jump shot really isn't that bad in my opinion, and also does have solid dribble sigs and really good at getting to that basket. Paul George, I would say, is going to be in C tier. Dark Matter Kareem, I think you got to give at least B tier to. I'm really not the biggest fan of Kareem. Like, I would take Kristaps, Alonzo over him at the power forward position. I think he's still a really good Dark Matter. Just wish he had a better jump shot. Ron Artest, another easy A tier card on that MJ, Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic level, all very similar at the point guard position. Ron Artest going to be one of the best defensive point guards in the game while still being a great offensive card. Derrick Rose is going to have to be an F tier. Not a bad Dark Matter card. Like, I would say he's probably the best Dark Matter in the F tier category. He's still really great at getting to the basket, but only going to be a 6'3" point guard. Malik Sealy, I would say he's maybe C tier. Like, he plays good defense, has an okay jump shot. I'm just not sure if he's on that Jimmy Butler type of level at the shooting guard position. Shaq, I would also say, is in D tier. Can't shoot the 3 ball. Speed is really good, super athletic, great defender, is a big body down low. I just like my card to be able to shoot. I don't think he's as bad as, you know, the Jimmer Fredettes, the Isaiah Thomases of the world, but I don't think I can put him any higher than D tier. Dark Matter Shea, I'm gonna give B tier to. I won't gas it and say A tier, but I think he's a really elite point guard. 6'6", 6'11" wingspan, has his own jump shot on very quick timing, which I think is a great release. And then he's also got really good dribble sigs as well. Steve Smith, gotta go A tier. Still one of the best shooting guards in the game. Very underrated because there's so many top tier shooting guards in my team, like a Terry Dishinger, who I think has to be in that S tier category. I do like him a little bit more than a Steve Smith. He's still got a great jump shot, one of the fastest releases in the game, and he's still one of the best offensive cards. Tim Thomas also got to be in the S tier category. One of the best cards in my team, 6'10" at the 2, and I do think he's probably the best shooting guard in the game, or the second best, I should say. Tim Duncan, I'm going to say C tier. I think he's a little bit better than Anthony Davis, a Moses Malone, or Chris Bosh, but I really don't think he's anything special at the power forward position. His other Dark Matter version going to have to go in F tier, just super outdated. Now, I did put Invincible T-Mac on this list. I'm not sure if people consider him still a Dark Matter, because I know some people might say like an Invincible is different than a Dark Matter, but some other people might say Invincible is a Dark Matter, so I'm just going to put him on this list. If you guys want to put his other Dark Matter version, his Radiant, instead of the Invincible, they're both going to be in the S tier category anyways, but just gonna have the Invincible one. You guys can let me know, do you think an Invincible counts as a Dark Matter and should be on this tier list? But if not, then you could just put his Radiant and would still be in the S tier category. Vince Carter, I'm giving A to. I think Vince is a really good offensive shooting guard, has a great jump shot, amazing at going to the basket, and is still a very solid defender. Dwayne Wade gonna have to be in D tier, just not a great point guard with a super beta jump shot. Will Chamberlain, I would say, is on the same tier as like a Tim Duncan, a Joel Embiid. I just don't think he's as good as Kareem, D-Rob, Dikembe, Dirk, Hakeem, Dwight. I just think those guys are a little bit better at power forward, and some are a little bit better at center. James Worthy, just maybe a better version of LeBron, both going to be very similar in C tier. And then Lonzo Ball, I think is probably also going to be in the D tier category. Do I want to move anybody up to S tier? Let me just see how many cards we do have in the S tier category. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I guess I can move 2 up into the S tier spot. I might go Nikola Jokic number 1, just because I do think he's the second best point guard in the game. And then I think I also will go Kevin Garnett, just because of the defense he does bring to the table. That's going to be my Dark Matter tier list, me ranking every single Dark Matter currently in the game. So let me know what you guys think about it. Let me know what you guys will change, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.